Absolutely, 100%. I don't think that you could have one without the other. When we write a paper for our courses at university, we're not necessarily required to have quite the same demands on our conciseness or clarity. Yes, I shouldn't say that, but we have a lot more generosity with our words. And so if you're writing for a journal, you can't play with that many words. So you need to understand how to write in quite a concise way. You know, if your whole paper can only be 4,000 or 5,000 words, including your reference list as well, and then you think about how concise your literature review has got to be at the very beginning. Bam, bam, bam. These are the gaps, and so that's why we're doing this. And then, you know, that's quite a skill to learn. And I think that nobody can teach you that in quite the same way as you can do it hand in hand with reading as well, to be able to understand what you need, what you don't need. So when I ask students to, for example, a written assignment where I might select something from the news, a recent news article, and then the student has to select 2 empirical studies. So when they choose these studies, I ask them to do a summary of the study. What is the study about? And then sometimes I also tell the students, don't waste too many words on this, because all you're doing is you're summarising somebody else's work. That isn't where your points are. Your points are in your application. And then they ask me, well, how much should I write? I say, think about it like an abstract, but in your own words. And then when they go to look at abstracts from different studies, they realise how much variation. Oh, well, this abstract doesn't even tell me how many participants were in the study. Ah, well, now you know. This is the important information that you need to put in your abstract at the very beginning, because a reader should be able to read your abstract of 250, 300 words, and they should be able to understand broadly what the study is about. And so, unless you have a familiarity with reading other people's work, that's when you can understand more about the important things to put in your work, or the pitfalls, the common pitfalls that other writers, you know, commonly fall down those traps and those sorts of things. But we can only learn that through reading. No, absolutely not. Sometimes the shorter text can contain more relevant information than the longer text. Sometimes we might have too much choice, so we start writing about everything. But in writing about everything, we can lose our focus. We live in a society that is hurried, that is time, you know, this sort of rushing for time, but if we've got all the time to elaborate, that's absolutely fine. But to be able, that conciseness is quite a skill that we need in life.